welcome to the line change once again. In this video, we're going to be going over and talking about the scary looking hit that Filip Chytil took towards the end of the game against Chicago. Very scary looking hit. He did exit the game following this hit, and obviously there is concern with his concussion history. We're going to go over an article posted on Canucks Army. This article in particular is written by David Quadrelli. Our boy Quads, there is actually, we're not going to be showing any footage, so we'll ignore the viewer discretion. The article starts off by saying, game recap, I noticed in one of the clips, I called him Dick Dickinson. That was a complete mistake. I don't know why it kept Dick, because I could have sworn I removed that. But Dick Dickinson is, I guess, the new name for him now. Continuing on, given Chytil's long history with concussions, this is obviously an even more disturbing clip, referring to the clip that we won't be showing. If you want to see the clip, you can probably find it on YouTube. I don't want to get stricken for copyright, so that's why we're not showing the clip. But continuing on, and with the Canucks in the thick of a playoff chase that's been gaining serious momentum lately, losing Chytil would be a tough blow. Canucks head coach Rick Tocchet didn't have an update on Chytil post-game, and then this is a quote from Rick Tocchet. It was a pretty bad hit, so we'll see how he is. Tocchet said post-game, the Canucks take on the Utah Hockey Club on Sunday, and it will be interesting to see how the Canucks line up if they are indeed without Chytil. As of the recording of this video, it is Sunday morning. I'm doing this as I'll be working technically today, so I wanted to get this video recorded and uploaded prior to the game. The hit from Dickinson came with just under 5 minutes remaining in the third. Dickinson did not play another shift in the game, so let's keep that in mind. I know a lot of people were talking about the Canucks not being tough and not having a response. Well, he didn't play another shift in the game, so it's not like you could have gone after him. So maybe that was why there was that little kerfuffle towards the end of the game between Bedard, Hronek, Suter, I believe, was in there too. And that's probably why there were game misconducts issued at the end of this game. The article continues, and it says the Canucks acquired Chytil in the JT Miller trade with the New York Rangers at the end of January. In 15 games with the Canucks, Chytil has tallied 2 goals and 4 assists. And then take note of this. Chytil appeared in just 10 games with the Rangers last season as a result of a head injury. So last season, Chytil only played 10 games. And obviously he's been a lot more healthy this season, but you have to keep that in the back of your head. He only played 10 games last year. So because of his concussion history. So that's why there's a large amount of concern for Chytil. And seeing this hit, which, by the way, I'm just going to go flat out and say it was a dirty hit. And as you can see from the title of this video, I think there should be a suspension for Dickinson, at least minimum 1 game, as I also don't know why there wasn't a call on the play. Like, that's boarding. 101. That is a boarding, I actually have up on here. This is the literal definition of boarding in ice hockey. It says, in ice hockey, boarding penalty is called when a player checks, pushes, or trips an opposing player violently into the boards, particularly when the player is defenseless or unaware of the impending contact. That is, to a T, describes that hit from Dickinson on Chytil. So why wasn't it called boarding? Why was there not a boarding call by the referees? I have no idea. That is boarding 101. I bet you anything, if I was playing NHL 25 and one of my players laid a hit like that, it would have been called boarding every single time. And it's happened when I played the game too. So I seem to get a lot of boarding calls when I'm playing at 25, but that's that. Now we'll continue on with this article. Dickinson was a member of the Canucks for just 1 season, as the club acquired him from the Dallas Stars, sending a 3rd-round pick the other way. Dickinson, who had been a solid third-line center to that point in his career, was a massive disappointment in his lone season in Vancouver, posting 5 goals and 6 assists through 62 games while being abysmal in the faceoff dot. The Canucks shipped Dickinson off along with a second-round pick to the Chicago Blackhawks in exchange for defenseman Riley Stillman ahead of the 2022 season. After scoring 22 goals last season with the 23 Blackhawks, Dickinson has 7 goals and 9 assists through 56 games with Chicago this season. So that's going to do it for that article. But as you heard me personally, I think it should be a suspension. I'd also really like to know an explanation as to why there was no penalty on the play. I mean, it was towards the end of the game. Canucks were winning 6-2. There was no need for a hit like that. And for them to just let it go. I mean, if you were watching the game and you saw the way Chytil completely collapsed, against the boards, he wasn't moving for a little bit. And then when he was slowly getting to his feet, he fell. It's like his knees buckled, his knees were jelly, and he fell back down. And you even saw the Canucks bench, hitting the boards, trying to get the referee's attention, and the whistle wasn't blown for it. And then it eventually was. And he did manage to skate to the bench on his own power, which was great to see, as it could have been a lot worse. But you could see the frustration from Chytil. He kicked the boards, slammed his stick. Obviously, Chytil was pissed off. About what? I don't know. About having to leave the game or the fact that there wasn't a call on the play. We don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't think Chytil plays against Utah just as a precaution. And you really need to think, with his history, is he going to miss any extra time? I think it's pretty certain at this point, as I mentioned, that he doesn't play against Utah just because it's less than 24 hours. The game starts at 5. So I don't think he plays against Utah. So Canucks might have to call somebody up from Abbotsford to play for Chytil. And now that begs the question, will this be an extended absence for Chytil? Something the Canucks can't really afford right now, considering they're in a big playoff push. While Chytil hasn't produced, he still brings that speed to this Canucks forward group. He brings that speed. What he's brought, sure, the production's not been there, but you notice him on the ice when he's zipping around. He had a few chances tonight. He's had a few chances in the last few games. He just hasn't been able to put the puck in the net. But this is a very scary situation. And obviously, I feel for the guy. Keep in mind, we mentioned this when he was acquired. He's only 25 years old. He's young, and he's probably one bad concussion away from his career ending. So that's another reason why I think the league should look at this and suspend Dickinson. He's 25 years old, and he's had how many concussions? He only played 10 games last season. So I think all of that together should take into account for a suspension. I don't think it should be one like what Zari got, but at least minimum 1 game. We mentioned in the game recap video how Dickinson had a really dirty hit on Macklin's Celebrini when they played the Sharks the other night, where he essentially cross-checked him in the back of the net. They should take that into account as well, because that's back-to-back games where he's delivered a dirty hit. And you saw there was a response by the Sharks there. Perhaps the Blackhawks figured there might be another response, so maybe that's why he didn't play after that hit. But that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to The Line Change, go ahead and subscribe. You really help out the channel. And you also stay up to date on all your Canucks content coming to you from The Line Change. If you hit that bell notification, you get notified every single time a new video is uploaded. And if you have friends who are big Canucks fans, go ahead and share this particular video with them. Share them a link to the channel. Get them on board. Get them as part of the Line Change crew. Go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section down below. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Dickinson should get suspended for this hit? Regardless of if you're a Canucks fan or a Blackhawks fan, should the league look into this and prevent this from happening, especially with someone with the history that Filip Chytil has? If you're listening or watching this on Spotify, go ahead and give this podcast a review. but let me know how I'm doing. Most importantly, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys, as always, in the next video.